And now, Freelance Heroism presents Return to Ravenloft.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before I even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates to the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier. Rachel.
Yes.
Would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Crispy, Nate, Breakmeister, and Rebecca. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you. Dees.
Hey.
Hey. So it's the new year.
Mm-hmm.
And a thing that we've been sort of doing every episode in January for the last few years is that I hijack the intro and force everyone to listen to me talk about books. And that time has come again.
We've all learned to suffer, but we all suffer together.
That's right.
Okay, so what are we talking? What about books today?
So, let me pull up my 2024 reading stats.
Oh my God, guys, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Are you as excited as I am? Oh shit.
This was
I'm trembling. You know? Okay.
Okay.
Let me brace.
Oh, all right.
All right,
so,
good.
this was actually a slow reading year for me. Every year, I make a personal goal to read 100 books, and every year I fail that goal.
Man, because you suck.
But this year, I failed that goal by more than normal.
Oh, how bad?
Do you want to guess how many books I read this year?
22.
22.
Was it 22?
Is more than 22.
25.
76.
Oh, I'm still a nerd. You're fine. 76 is still a lot of books.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted to do 100. 76 is pretty short.
Yeah.
It's 24 short.
Yeah.
Which I was pretty close on.
Oh, you were thinking of it differently.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I read 64% fiction and 36% nonfiction, which I think I generally try to read at least a third nonfiction in my.
So you're right in the wheelhouse there.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
We're all buckled up. We're waiting for the big stat.
In terms of format,
Uh-huh.
I read 20,091 pages. And I listened to 85 and a half hours of audiobook.
Shit. Do those count as reading?
Yeah, audiobooks count as reading.
I think so too, but I was just making sure. I didn't know if you were like a book elitist or something.
No.
Okay.
I know some people try to say audiobooks don't count as reading. That's not true. Audiobooks count as reading.
Thank you.
There's also like a weird competition in the book community where some people are like, I read 300 books this year. And then other people will be like, that doesn't count as reading. If you're reading so fast, you read that many books. It's not a competition. Like if you read a book last year, that's great. Keep doing that.
You're right. I got a real Jets versus Sharks kind of, let's tie our hands together and snap and stab each other,
Right. Let's see. So, yeah. Do you have any questions about my reading?
Oh, I didn't know I
year?
had to participate.
Did you?
How many of those books were about ships that had a disaster and they died? Because it feels like a lot of them.
Actually, not that many this year, I will say.
More than 5?
Less than 5.
Less than 5?
Less than 5. Actually, I don't know if I read anything about, like...
Bullshit.
I did read about some people dying on a mountain.
That's the same thing. You know what I mean? Just because it's not naval doesn't mean it wasn't a disaster that resulted in people dying or eating each other.
The ships of the air. The mountains. I did read about the Challenger disaster.
That counts. That's a ship.
That's okay. So
did you see what she's getting pedantic here?
I read a fictional book of a maritime disaster that was based on a real life maritime disaster.
That counts.
Okay, so that's 3. I read a book about people that go missing in North American woods.
That counts.
That one was horrible, though. I hated that one.
It doesn't matter. You read it.
Okay.
That's 4.
I read a book about a weird, like, kind of Squid Game scenario on a boat with these people. It's fiction, though.
It's naval and people died?
Yes.
That counts. 5.
Okay.
I was right.
Okay. I also read about the Donner Party.
That definitely counts. I don't read these and I know about that one. It doesn't matter. It's a ship, an airship.
Oh, and I read about an Everest disaster. I read about people dying on Mount Everest.
She just wants to read about the ruin of people. Read any happy books this year where everything works out for everyone, or no, just cannibalism and mountaintops?
Just reading about men dying this year.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I can support it. This year, I can support it.
All right.
You want to play our game?
That was it. Yes, I do want to play our game.
Okay, so for those who don't understand the rules, I have not read any of these books because, I'm cool. And Rachel has read all of them. So what she's going to do is she's going to pick a few titles, and then I'm going to have to guess the plot of the book in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll tell me if I'm close.
Yes.
Okay. So I am ready. Let me tune it in.
Okay.
Let me get a smoke ready because wise people smoke when they're thinking.
All right.
Okay, hold on. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Ready.
All right. Ghost Radio by Leopoldo Gout.
Leopoldo?
Yes.
That kid got picked up. That kid got picked on. I'm going to say Ghost Radio is about a man who works in national forest, who works at the top of one of those fire detection towers, and he's got a radio system, and on that radio system he's getting messages from people who have died, and so he's calling people and they're like, no, they died 22 years ago in this very forest. And I think that's what it's about. Okay. I also think Leopoldo never had a shot in middle school. Never had a shot.
All right.
Was I close?
You were kind of close, I will say. Although I do like your version, and I would read that if that was an actual.
Of course. Of course.
So Ghost Radio, I will say I listened to the audiobook on this one. The audiobook is narrated by Pedro Pascal, which I thought was interesting. It is about this like early 20s guy who runs a radio show. It starts in Mexico, and it's basically people call him to talk about weird encounters they've had. And it's sort of like a what is it, coast to coast, that like Art Bell kind of show. Yeah. He starts it, and it sort of goes through some of the calls that he gets and these weird experiences that he starts to have. But we also get flashbacks to when he was a kid, and he ends up in a car crash. He spends time in the hospital, and he meets this guy who eventually starts the radio show and like a band with him.
Oh, is this like a spoiler?
No.
Okay. Just making sure that we're not fucking anything up.
Yeah.
Might want to read this.
So
also, my Ghost Radio will be coming out later this summer, so stay tuned.
But a lot of really weird stuff starts happening, and there's a lot of weird flashbacks and different perspectives. It was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was great. It has kind of a Russian Doll vibe. I would say it's kind of like that.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yes.
If you haven't watched Russian Doll, you should watch every episode of Russian Doll back to back right now.
Yes.
Listening to us for? Go watch that shit.
Russian Doll is excellent.
God, that show is good. I want to watch it again.
All right. Let me pick another one.
That initial scene of leaving the apartment is one of the best fucking 10 minutes of television I've ever seen.
Yeah. All right. Next book.
Okay.
The
I'm focused.
The Handyman Method.
The handyman method.
Mhm.
Let's switch up from the scary to the
Mhm.
wholesome.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that the handyman method was a book written by. Okay, so it sets on this guy,
Mhm.
and then he actually finds a book that his grandfather was working on.
Mhm.
That his grandfather wrote this book about. It's called the handyman method, about how to fix things around the house and to be sort of self-sustaining and things like that.
Mhm.
But in that book, there are little wholesome nuggets of wisdom that he can apply to repairing not just his house,
Uh-huh.
but his marriage
Wow.
and his relationship with his kids,
Okay.
which has, fallen apart
Mhm.
because of his high-powered, busy lifestyle. So they move into this new house, and then while they're moving the stuff over, he finds that old manuscript that his grandfather had written
Mhm.
that never published, and then he reads it while he's learning to redo the house, and he just uses that to kind of help him rebuild the house. And through doing that, he spends more time with his children, more time with his wife, and they have sort of like a growth. And then at the end of it, he publishes the book so that the world can benefit the same way he did from his grandfather's wisdoms.
Okay.
What do you think?
Close, but you sort of described kind of the beginning of the book, and then it turns to horror.
Oh, of course it does.
So
The grandfather was actually a neo-Nazi ghost.
no. The handyman method is about this guy who, with his wife and their child, they move into a new house, and he finds this YouTube channel called The Handyman Method, where this guy teaches you how to do home repairs.
Right.
But he's evil. Like, he's sort of this demonic entity, you find out very quickly, who is actually not just there to teach you how to repair a crack in your wall, but it's actually sort of like a toxic masculinity evil spirit kind of thing. And so as the book progresses,
oh my God, it's the Andrew Tate ghost.
it,
Oh no.
it's sort of like, all right, video
Invest
one.
in Bitcoin. Woo!
Video one. All right, we're gonna, teach you how to fix a squeaky closet door. And then you get 10 videos in, and it's like, fellas, is it gay to like women?
It's like you have to rear mount this packet of beef jerky before you open it.
So, I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of this book, but I feel like the ending kind of goes off the rails a little bit. But it was very, very entertaining.
Do you think you would have liked your book that you read or the book that I created better? Because the first one I won.
Yeah.
What about this one? What do you think?
I could see myself enjoying yours, although I will say, obviously, I read a lot of genre fiction. I read a lot of horror, so
right. So you don't think
I would need?
good?
I don't know how I would have picked yours up on my own.
It is a tour de force, and it is a #1 bestseller right now. So
okay.
Hate it if you like, but it just shows that you're uncultured swine.
Okay. Well then.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Let me find a good one. Sorry, I've read a lot. I'm scrolling through a bunch of books.
You'll just edit this noise out. It's fine. So we can keep that high speed that we're used to.
Right. Okay. Let's go with we'll do kind of what may be an easy one. Empire of the Vampire.
Okay. I'm going to go a different route with this one. I'm going to say Empire of the Vampire is about a young writer who is trying to write a traditional vampire hunter story, but he's met by Big Vampire, which is a conglomerate of book writers. And what they are is they're trying to sell the teen lust narrative. Right?
Yeah.
And so they don't like this. He's killing the brand for them. They've found a lot of wealth and money in doing their style of vampire story. And so this is going to dinge up their whole business model. So they hire a group of 2 kind of bumbling hitmen to take him out.
Uh-huh.
And while they try to take him out, he ends up embodying the spirit of real fucking old gothic vampire to fight them and defeat them, get them taken into the law using the mythos and lore of a vampire. So about midway through the story, they start to not know if he's actually some sort of
and he's been writing from experience.
No, he's not actually a vampire. He's just using it to,
but maybe that's sort of what they're thinking, if they're these two idiot henchmen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're idiots. They're dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so they constantly have to contact their contact back at the publisher, Dual Fang Publishing, and they contact them, and he's just like, the man just flew into the air, and then he's like, that's not possible. Get back in there. Wow. It starts off sort of like a sardonic comedy, and then over time sort of talks about the trends of books in the modern era, and kind of has a sort of interesting point to make about literature in general in the modern era.
That, you know what, I would read that. That sounds excellent.
Yeah.
Empire of the Vampire is over 700 pages of only what I can describe as Bloodborne fan fiction.
Yeah.
It is about a group of hunters who dress exactly like your character in Bloodborne.
Right.
And they live in a world where vampires have taken over.
Right.
And it's just Bloodborne scenes and the cringiest I'm 14 and just learned about atheism dialogue that you've ever heard.
Look, man, I'm an atheist, but I'm aware that younger atheists are very annoying.
Yeah, no, like reading some of the lines, it was like, ooh, I used to say things like that.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah. It is pure junk food, and I enjoyed it, and I will be continuing the series.
Oh my god. Do you like yours or mine better?
I like yours better.
Yeah,
I would be unashamed if someone caught me reading yours.
Yeah, it is a dark comedy. Yeah, and that'll be releasing right after the Winds of Winter. So keep your eyes peeled.
Okay, good to know. Well, thank you for playing this game with me.
Absolutely, I love playing this game.
I've already finished 3 books this year, and I'm currently reading 3 others, as well as reading another book specifically for work. So wow. I will have more by the end of the year.
What a fucking dork. Ready to get to the episode?
I am ready to get
to
this episode.
Me too. Jesus.
All right. This is Return to Ravenloft, Season 3, Episode 24, Zombo number 5.
That title is excellent. Was that me?
I don't remember. It was one of the ones I wrote down.
It has to have been me.
That feels like a me. Yeah.
That feels like Zombo number 5. Oh my god. Was it Lou Bega? Oh my god. That is perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, good lord.
Where were we? Okay. Who wants to do recap? Who wants to recap?
We had gone through a mirror.
Mm-hmm. What was our mission?
We were going through looking for Victor, Rayne, and Nick. We are in Mirror Barovia, I believe. Or is it Mirror Darkon?
Yeah, you just popped into a room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think we knew where we were.
Okay.
It's like, did I miss something?
Now it could be safe to assume because of the GIF I sent you guys this morning where you're at. But
well, so in the room that we saw, there were empty wine bottles that are of a Barovian make.
Oh yeah, we were in the vineyard over by where we got Nick.
No, that's just where the wine came from. we don't necessarily know that's where we're at.
Oh, okay.
There was a table.
There's a table.
Yeah, there's a table with a corpse on it.
Yes.
And we looked underneath.
You looked underneath.
Corpse. Yes.
Yep. And it was a female corpse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Made from different body parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She had boobs from 7 different corpses.
I was gonna say it's a Mambo number 5 corpse.
Little bit of vodka. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be a great song.
Episode title. Mambo number 5.
Zombo number 5.
There you go.
Oh, that's excellent.
Because I'm pretty sure it's going to come to life here in a second, and we're going to have to deal with it.
All
right.
Oh, that song's gonna be stuck in my head the rest of the night.
You're welcome.
Great shit.
All right.
Okay. So.
Sorry. Trying to get the
Okay.
energy high.
All right. So, you guys are in the room. The mirror's in the room. You see a fireplace on the northern wall, the door to the southern, windows on the east, west, and north, the table with the body on it, and stairs in the southwestern corner that goes down.
Is there any light sources?
You see lamps along the walls that are off. They're not lit.
So is there any light in here at all?
You get some of the gray daylight from outside coming through the windows.
Okay. Sound? Can I roll a perception? Actually, let me roll my 2d20s first. Is that cool? Can't hear you.
Portents. I was singing portents.
7. Sweet. D-Walk, you'll enjoy that one. And a 4. T-Walk really enjoyed that. So we're going to have some failures coming.
Oh, boy.
I figured.
Man. It's one thing to fail. It's another thing to have your fails preordained.
Yep.
So, no worries. There is a rope in the corner that goes up to what you assume is a bell tower.
Can I do that perception?
Yeah, go for it, please.
It's gonna be for sound. I'm gonna take the 10.
Okay.
That'd be 25.
All right. You hear it's a harp playing in the distance.
A harp?
A harp.
What kind of song?
Oddly uplifting.
Can I tell? Is it a familiar song?
It sounds like something you would hear from the Temple of the Morning Lord.
This might be a tricky question.
Okay.
Is it, as a musician myself, is it a adept hand playing it? Do the notes ring out well, or are they muddied?
What was the total perception again?
26. 25. Okay. Sorry, 25.
27.
The hand is... It's not a... How do I put this? They're not an amateur, but they're definitely not a master.
Okay.
You can definitely tell there's a trip up every now and then. A note would go sour or possibly miss.
Okay.
They know their way around the harp. They just...
I'm gonna look at the guys and be like, could be Ludo.
Could be Ludo.
Because he's terrible.
because he only has one hand.
It doesn't sound terrible.
Would you
That sounds
expect
not
him
good.
here anyway?
No, because he's
I'm just
hiding in the
saying.
castle in the other world.
I'm just
Speaking
saying.
of-
Both Ludos are back there.
It could be him. He's bad, but not like so bad that you would
He's
like
not-
notice right away. But he's not good. I
He's-
think we can. It's
he
the
is very
sound. It's
good.
the notes that he's not playing
He
that are the
is-
most obnoxious.
That's the
Where the hell are we?
I
On the other
gesture
side of
at
a
the
mirror.
room.
This is where we have the same information you do,
Well, I
except for
figured-
I'm apparently the only one that's clear about the quality of harp playing.
okay, fine, but I'm not the mirror.
I'm just saying the notes are
expert here.
cluttered. Is what I'm. Okay, I'm
they're
done.
not
I'm
I
sorry.
cluttered.
love how you guys
They're
are half
cluttered. They're too
whispering.
close
This is
together.
great.
They're too
Okay.
close together.
We'll go
They're rushing.
upstairs, and if there's a hat out in front of the harp, we won't put a coin in it.
Well,
I'm
that's
more
not
worried
fair.
about.
They're trying.
Oh,
But it's irrelevant whether they're trying. They're trying and failing. That's how everyone tries when they do a thing.
Yeah, but they're putting themselves out. I'm just saying, if they're playing for money,
They're
and they've
playing
got
in
hat,
a
they're putting
dark
themselves
room
out.
with a corpse in it. They're not putting themselves out
They're not in
anywhere.
this room. They're somewhere else.
Oh yeah, where the buskers hang out near the corpse body.
I'm not the mirror expert. You two are.
You're gonna have to lighten up. You're gonna have to lighten up. You're too on edge. We do this all the time. Relax.
Mm.
All right. What do you think?
I
Do we
don't know.
mention it or do we just pretend like they're doing a good job?
I think they're doing a fine job.
Okay, yeah, of course you do.
I think I'm worried about this big stitched up woman over here and what's gonna. That's not normal.
People have stitches all the time. What are you talking about?
It is
Not different pieces from different people. That's pretty obvious. That's the case.
Oh, right. I forget. You guys are young, right? Okay. First time seeing an assembled flesh golem.
Could I go look at the body and make some kind of a medicine check to see if there's anything I could learn about it, David?
Of course, please.
While she's doing that, I'm going to make an investigation check around the room. I would like to see if I can find anything that points us to a location, like a map or a book that says, history of blah, 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 or one of those nice little kiosks like you see in the mall with the little star that says you are here. That would be fantastic because I just fell out of a mirror into a place and I would really like to know where I am. Well, that's not bad. It's a 27.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Rachel, what was your medicine?
I got a 14.
Okay. So we got a 14 and a 27. All right.
I'll give a help action to Rachel.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Adrie. Sorry, you have a lot of names in this game. I'm trying to remember which one it is.
26.
The
Hot damn.
guy who makes the checks better just by being around.
Okay.
All right.
What if you were a judge? Do you seen that joke before? It's like, all rise, all rise, all rise.
So as do you like lift off the complete sheet off of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
So-
me too excited about that.
Looking at the quality of the sheet. With like, is
Yeah,
this what you would really drape over 7 bodies?
I'm going to be sarcastic, be like, well, he was trying when he put it
You-
together. He was trying his best. He's just learned how to make sheets for the first time.
Wow, man, it's only
You
100 thread cotton. What the hell?
That's disrespectful.
I love how she thought that was masking the body, like the blood that was all over the floor was just going to seep through slowly and be like, instead of like shocking the children with a physical visualization of a dead parent, it was just like this haunting imagery that now the colors red slowly expanding are going to terrify them.
So-
Like they start putting jelly on toast, they just freak out and have a fucking seizure.
Also, we now know the Leodin family likes to dress their dead in Egyptian fine cotton. It's got to
Yeah.
be like the real good, like the hotel quality shit, man. None of that crap you get from Walmart in the bargain bin.
You see, this actually has been exquisitely put together. The powdered skin where the disparate body parts have been like completely just stitched with care to where the seams are actually like tucked in where they were sewn
Mhm.
to see minimum stitching. It is in a red gown underneath the shroud. Almost like someone's creating this as a bride.
Someone took a lot of care to
I
And
do
you can
know.
see
this.
the
I know where we
discoloration
are
between
now.
the different body parts. Fuck.
I
Hey,
know where
where are
we
we?
are. We're in the basement of the Barovian Build-A-Bride. I mean,
So, um,
the
Can we put our
mall.
own voice recorder in?
oh shit.
If we go upstairs, we'll find the Orange Julius and the Auntie Anne's pretzels. This is great.
So,
Actually, a pretzel sounds great right
I
now.
know it does.
And
It really
orange
actually
Julius
does.
sounds
I
pretty
know.
good too. Orange cream slush,
but
yo.
outside of that, it's definitely not dead anymore in a sense, and more, as Kaeviir mentioned earlier, golemized.
Yeah, like dormant right
Mhm.
now.
So powered off more than dead.
Yeah.
Can I
I
do
see.
I want to say maybe medicine investigation. Maybe perception investigation would be ideal. But if I need, I'm gonna look at Adrie and be like, what's your medical looking at the muscle tissue, like
Mhm.
the muscle and build.
Mhm.
How strong do you think this thing is?
Would I have learned that, David?
Like Rachel likes to compile
This
her
thing's
checks together.
strong. Yeah, no, this thing physically, like, it seems that whoever pieced it together,
Mm.
this is gonna sound really, really bad, chose the prime cuts of the bodies.
Okay.
I'll kind of Adri will sort of point out like some of the muscle on the arm, and she'll say, "See, they sort of bypassed some of the weaker muscles to basically just overpower the the strength."
I've already tuned her out.
Uh-huh.
And I've begun removing a slow amount of chain from my bag.
As he's doing that, Rayne had a 27, right?
That is correct.
As you look around and investigate the room, you see a cot heaped with furs resting in the northeast corner, surrounded by empty wine bottles. An oil lamp's off on top of the table as well. Outside of that, I mean, just between the empty wine bottles, the cot with the furs, the table, you see surgeon tools around, plenty of
What's the
sinew and thread.
label? What does one of the
Hold on.
labels say on the bottle of wine?
Can I do this?
Label in the bottle one.
Can I do this before we get to the next bit?
Oh boy.
Because there's
Okay.
a corpse on the table. The fucking cot with the fur,
Oh my god.
Okay,
This is as close as we'll ever get to a musical episode of Freelance Heroines, by the way.
so you see the labels Wizard of the Wines on the top. Couple of the empty bottles are Purple Grape Mash number 3, and a few others are Red Dragon Crush.
These sound like the Four Loco of the Barovian wine world.
Those of you who remember the Barovian wine world know that the Purple Grape Mash number 3 was the cheap wine, where the Red Dragon Crush was a fine wine.
Okay, because I was going to say that sounded an awful lot like Mad Dog 2020. we're peddling in Boone's Farm over here now. Did you say Wizards of the Vine or Wizards of the Wine? I was
Wizard of the Wines.
of the Wines. Okay.
Only the finest boxed wines here in Barovia.
Yeah,
Fucking
you gotta
Ernest
understand
and
also that
Julio
we're talking about Barovian wine, not like water deep wine, not Evermeet wine, which the bards are banned from. But we're not talking about Evermeet. We're Silver Moon.
All right. So are these? Would I recognize these? Would Rayne recognize these names?
If Rayne's been near Barovia, then yes. Now
Yeah,
Barovia is kind of landlocked outside a river.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's
But
travel.
what I'm getting at is that it's not like a foreign name. It's like, even though we're in an alternate version of Barovia,
No, you'd still have that in
okay.
your
So
Barovia.
that is still a consistency. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I want to get. Okay.
So
I'm going to continue wrapping this chain around the arms and chest piece,
all right.
and then around the throat and around the head. I'm binding this person. I'm going to use the manacles to bind them to whatever table or whatever. I'm doing it gingerly at first, but making sure that everything's pretty locked in.
Afraid to wake it up while you tie it down.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Give me either a sleight of hand or a stealth as you move the chains around.
Which one is going to be the one where I don't get caught?
Whichever one you pass.
Well, I'm going to pass. I am.
No,
I'm
yeah,
going to take a 10, and they both are plus 16, so I'm going to pass. It's going to be a 27 at minimum.
All right. Yeah, no, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll roll it.
Sleight of hand.
It's all good.
Yeah, we'll sleight of hand. Wow. Luckily, I'm going to take a 10 and not that one that I rolled. 27,
please. I appreciate the dice gods throwing that my way, but it got rejected.
I fight against their malevolence. Fickle fate. I took the lucky feet. Eat my butt. Sorry.
All good.
Wouldn't it be funny if a person who like raged against the deities was just like, eat my butt? And they're just like, what? I can't write this in a book. This motherfucker got to get smote today.
Now we know how Bar Sims got smited.
Okay, so I'm tying them up. I'm going to use the manacle lock on the back end.
Okay.
It's pretty sturdy lock. And then once that has been locked into place, I'm going to look around and see if everyone else agrees that this was a good idea. But until I'm completed the task, I'm not even looking. I don't want to catch any negativity.
You turn around to see me just staring at you. Did we think that was going to be a problem?
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be anymore.
Assuming the chains hold.
They will.
Okay.
They're good. And then I'm going to reach into my sleeve. I got like my arm is so far up my other sleeve that it just looks like ridiculous. And then I'm like, there we go. I got this little like rubber sand filled ball that you use like a kind of like one of those squeezy grip toys
for stress.
Like a stress ball?
A stress ball. I never use this because I'm always so good at everything. And I just I'm gonna put that in their mouth so they make any noise.
Bro.
I feel like that would wake them up.
Wake them up? Aren't they a golem? Don't they have to be woken up with a command word?
They have to be activated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, the switch just happened to be their tongue. Congratulations. Open jaw to start. Look, it was even stenciled right there under the ear.
I wonder if golems actually have instructions like that on them, like this side up. This is the Golgathan. It can get really messy, so you want to make sure you got the right side up.
Caution, hot surface.
So everything that I've done so far has not caused any movement in this thing. Okay. Now we can go investigate. I'm going to do a ninja vanish if that's okay with everyone.
Okay.
I don't know how I could stop you even if it was.
No, I'm just making sure that I'm like looking at you guys like Like you guys are watching me get ready to like slowly move into the shadows. Like I'm like slowly leaning up against the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like looking at you guys nodding, like, right? Yes.
I
Yeah.
sure.
I wanted to look at the window to kind of get a. You said that some of the light was coming from the windows, so I
Mhm.
wanted to look out and see.
Uh,
Are we
which windows? North, east, or west?
East?
Okay. She says east. All right. All right. Give me a perception as you look out the window.
Tis Juliet and the sun.
Fun.
It's our luck we landed in the house of someone who's incredibly paranoid and believes conspiracy theories, so all of the windows are covered in aluminum foil.
24.
No. Okay.
I bet aluminum foil would be a bitch to make in this era. Like with the technology.
Yeah, you'd have to hammer that shit real thin.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is. Okay. You see, as you look out east,
Mhm.
you can see down to the south, the building kind of continues across the top, like almost like battlements. But you also see another longer building because it's in a slight L shape. So the building goes down south and it continues out east in an L shape. It has a wall that actually you can tell goes around the perimeter. You can see the gate to the north outside the window. Heavily dense trees all around. You realize you're in an abbey. You're at a church.
What kind of trees?
Um, Barovian forest trees.
It,
Big
the,
ones with green tops on them.
it's
So
not if it's not relevant to narrative. I'm just trying to geolocate.
you do recognize, or she would recognize part of the shape of the trees, the color of the green. Um, these kind of trees would be actually deeply embedded in your memory.
Mhm.
It's where Kaeviir almost died the first time.
Oh.
Oh no.
It's um near what's his name? Hold on, I'm not gonna fuck up his name again.
Time's a charm.
This isn't Van Richen's Tower. You
Oh.
which by your memory would put you up near Kresk,
Okay.
which makes this the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Adrie will say, I think we're near Kresk.
What makes you say that?
The trees.
They have a sign in them that says "Welcome to Kresk."
Well,
I just
also
remember,
Kresk is the only other town that has an abbey.
Right.
um, I remember from when we were here before. Oh, Adrie's gonna kind of lean forward. She's looking out for a dog.
Oh my God! Don't even. Ugh.
Captain Rayne, if you see a dog, let me know immediately.
Okay.
Thank
Did you?
It's gonna be hard for you to shout. You might need a signal.
We need a dog signal.
We need a dog signal.
Is d-
A ranger
is it
cast silence on a
someone's
dog
pet?
last time and sick the
Oh.
silence dog on them.
Ah.
And it was very effective.
While they shot a rifle at us.
At you.
At me.
In all fairness, I got drowned and tried to be eaten. You got shot at.
That's true.
We all got dogged.
But the
And at one point,
the link
I
was
do
the
believe
dog.
I do believe at one point there was a chain jump rope in Greece.
That was actually in this version of the world, was the chain jumping dog with
Yeah.
the grease. That the horsemen
and
were in your
the burning dog run into fire Thai rodeo. That was the other one. I like saying these in a way that make Nate go, what?
This might be a bad time to let you know that Rayne has a little bit of a soft spot for dogs. So
You will fucking cure that shit quick.
Just
you're about to be fucking anti-Clifford as fuck. You're gonna be so mad at dogs.
I'm gonna go from Clifford to old Yeller, just like that is what you're saying.
You are gonna be walking down the street kicking him in the face when you see him. This dog sucks. Dog is a total douchebag.
Oh.
The opinions of Dees Cassius are not those of freelance heroism.
Yeah, okay.
We do not condone violence against dogs of any kind.
I never.
Unless you really want to be an Oathbreaker paladin, right, Rachel?
Oh, I was an asshole with dogs.
Yeah.
I love dogs. I want to clarify that.
No, 100%. We love dogs.
Yeah.
This thing is a fucking asshole. You like dogs? Like, no, not this one.
There was a malevolence to that dog. Like, it wasn't just it had been trained to run and like bring a bubble of silence. It like jumped into the fire.
Well, that was a different dog. That was
a different dog. Two different dogs.
Still.
But I will
other.
not. I think that other dog was under the influence of this dog. I think this dog coached that dog into doing some bad shit.
Yeah.
I imagine that in true alternate universe fashion, all of the cats here are lovely.
No,
They're
that's not true.
lovely.
Actually, the only cat we've seen has been a bone cat. So.
The
dead cat. That's right.
Yeah, we haven't seen any other cats. So.
Cats don't knock things down off of high ledges. They actually will try, and if they find something that's been knocked over, they'll try and
right it
with their little paws.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
8 out of 10 cats does bone down. Okay, so I'm going to peer around the corner in stealth. Let me go ahead and use my stealth roll.
Hold up. Okay, which way are we looking?
You straight to hell. This is a baller roll. 35.
Okay. So are you looking out the door to the south, or are you looking down the stairs?
He's the wall now.
Okay.
I am so stealthed that I'm just gonna walk around and look to see where the sound's coming from.
Okay.
First. You know what the worst part about rolling a 35 is? DMs have the entire power to invalidate a 35 by making you turn a corner and have to roll again. It's such bullshit.
Or important roll.
There should be like 4 actions in which, well, important, he'd have to target me. He'd have to see me.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So you have the room to go around in, or you can go downstairs or through the door that leads you out, I guess, across the battlements of the Abbey.
I think closing out the room we're in is the smarter option. So I'm going to descend the staircase, hopefully riding this stealth check.
Okay.
But I know how DMs work, and you'll make me roll again.
I love you, bro.
I'm waiting.
So as you creep down, you keep your stealth check. You see a 50-foot square room with arched Linden glass windows. The cauldron sits on an iron rack above the fire in the hearth, while below the fire mantle hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol in the sun. You see several chairs around a wooden table that stretches the near length of the room. Wooden dishware and golden I'm not going to pronounce this damn word. Candelabras. Candelabras are neatly arranged on the table. Standing behind them is a very beautiful man. Hair's back in a ponytail, long and blonde, almost golden, kind of like a shine to it. White robes, um, a very clean white robe, a large emblem of a sun on the robe as he sits there and plays the harp with a very just joyous look on his face as he looks into the fire.
As he looks into the fire,
Yeah, he doesn't notice you
is he
or
speaking?
see you. No, he's just playing, not just playing the music and just enjoying the music.
Okay, I'm going to use this stealth action. Is there a place in the room that
You
is
do
behind him?
see another set of stairs that continue down another floor, which you would assume would be a cellar of sorts.
Right. What about is there any alcoves or like corners in this room that are behind his positioning?
He's facing the north part of the wall towards the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
The table is between you and him and the him and you and the stairs. If you look towards the south, there's a door, and then there's just windows in the room, but there's nothing else that's like keeps really anything hidden in the room.
I'm going to use my stealth check. I'm going to keep saying that. To take a seat at the table behind him and sit quietly and observe his playing.
All right.
I am going to give Kaeviir about a minute, and then I'm coming down the stairs.
Okay. I was about to ask you too what you guys were doing while he was ever so elegantly creeping down the stairs on someone.
Listening for the
Creeping is
sound
a-
of death.
Creeping is a word that has a negative connotation to it.
My apologies.
Stealthily observing a curator of the arts has a.
Oh, now he's a curator of the arts. Earlier you said he sucked.
I didn't say he was good at curating the arts. I didn't say he was good at it. I just said he was doing that.
Mm.
Yeah, like sometimes people make pancakes and they taste like shit. There you go. Doesn't mean they weren't making pancakes, it just means they were bad at it.
Mm.
Also,
I-
pancakes are easy. What the fuck, man?
I feel like this is a personal dig at my cooking skills.
No, that wasn't it. I would have said pasta if that were it.
Or eggs.
That he probably would have addressed you directly, let's be honest.
That's
This
true.
is D's. So I don't think he would have pulled any punches.
She knows I love her.
I like Adrie, I would have been sort of just sitting there waiting to see if something jumped and stabbed him or shot at him or did something, and after about a minute, assuming nothing's happened, then yeah, I'll also start. I will do so stealthily as well, since I do not wish to give away my position, not knowing what I'm walking into. So I will make a stealth check as I.
Ooh.
Holy shit balls! Wow,
Woo.
that was. That's a 33.
Oh my god, I want Rachel to
Fuck.
roll this so bad.
All right.
Are you guys
So-
ready?
Yes.
5.
19.
Hey,
Hey, that's not
Nice.
the worst.
That's not the worst
No.
at all.
So the saintly looking one playing the harp continues to play looking at the fire, oblivious to who's sitting at the table behind him. And as the minute passes, the two of you begin creeping down the stairs slowly. I'm sorry, stealthily moving down the stairs
There you
slowly.
go.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
That's creepy when they do it, but I'll accept those.
And you see Kaeviir sitting at the table watching this guy play.
Would I recognize this iconography, David?
Oh, it's heavily Morning Lord.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, this is heavily Morning Lord.
Can I light a
Yeah,
pipe?
go for it.
Okay.
Like that's almost solidifies you're in the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Mhm.
You've heard Lucian speak of it before.
He spoke positively of it, I assume.
Back in the day before the abbot took it.
Oh. Well,
Because the reason it's named Saint Markovia is after the saint that stood, and she was the disciple of the Morning Lord, the cleric that tried to take on Strahd and led a charge against the castle, and was brutally murdered along with all of her followers. But
The
there is a
murdered saint.
rumored holy weapon of her thigh bone somewhere.
Right.
So no, I'm pretty sure it's her thigh bone. Yeah. Saint Markovia's thigh bone. Yep, it's somewhere in Barovia somewhere, and it's devastating to undead and evil things if you can find it. But
Well, there's a fucking scrap heap of parts upstairs. One of these thigh bones has got to work.
Lucian, he never. It's not that he spoke right out against the abbot. It's just he never saw eye to eye with the abbot.
But that's in the other world, so we don't know what the
yeah, we don't know what this one is. As you light the pipe, the smell turns the room, and he stops playing, and he turns around.
I'm gonna start clapping.
He smiles joyfully and bows. Welcome. Welcome. It's very rare we get, and he zeroes in on Adrie, the betrayer.
I'm sorry?
You betrayed my lord. You dare take his castle in his name.
No. Look around real quickly.
No, Superman, no.
Are your children here too?
I'm
gonna look at Adrian and be like, hey yo.
You did what now?
Somebody's been
been
busy.
When did you have time to do this?
I've never had children.
Do not lie in the house of the Morning Lord.
No one's lying. We're from far away. We don't come from here.
Mm-hmm.
He looks at you. You carry the face of the betrayer as well.
Oh my God, we get it. We look like some people you don't like. It's not us.
Prove it.
You prove that we are. You're the one making the claim.
You walk in here with that face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have swapped it out. You want me to? I can.
Something that the betrayer would say.
I'm not the betrayer. I mean, maybe somebody, but not you.
The fuck is my monster manual? Just had it. Oh, there it is.
I think there's some confusion happening. We just look like some people that you know.
Point of order. Do I look like anyone you know?
No, who are you?
I just look over.
Boy, that would be excellent.
I look over and I just flip Kaeviir off for a second and turn back to the priest.
That would be so excellent if Rayne had been adventuring with it was like a legend on the other side, and then comes here and there's nobody knows.
Nobody recognizes.
Didn't I buy salmon from you last month?
He's like, your face does not recollect my memory of the thousands of souls that have crossed through these doors.
I don't know.
He knows 1,000 people, but never heard of you.
I don't know. I don't know if I should be happy about that or disappointed.
Is your name not Adrie?
Is your name not Adrie? No.
We're gonna get to the double negative.
Zone of truth, that bitch. Let's do it. Keep speaking in that old English. I'm gonna work circles around you.
Are you not Kaeviir?
I am Kaeviir, but not your Kaeviir. Here,
How can there be more than one?
There are loads of us. What are you talking about?
I understand you have multiple of the
no
quotation site agents.
No, he's the one that's weird. I'm the baseline. He's the weirdo. Look, I'm going to take my bow. I'm going to hold it sideways with no arrow in it. And I'm going to ignite the charge to light it with radiant energy.
That
The energy,
reacts like
the
the sun
same.
sword.
Yeah. Turn it off.
An evil hand cannot wield the sun sword.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And it's easy, simple. Just swear your loyalty to Lord Strahd. And not the pretender.
Who's a pretender?
He points at Adrie.
Actually, she's not them either. Look,
This is confusing.
it is. We're from out of town. We're not from around here. You know? Maybe we
Came
could
through
sit.
the mirror.
We did.
He begins
And
to move his hand slightly down to his side.
relax.
The Lord said never to trust anyone that came through the mirror.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We have that same rule on our side, but it's always because you guys keep coming to our side. Look, who's responsible for the actions of oneself?
One person.
Each of us are responsible for our own actions, correct?
Give me a persuasion.
I'm gonna take a 10.
Wow, he said that even
Nice
before the number
gods!
he said that before the number even popped up on my screen. I was like, oh, that
That's
must
funny.
be bad. And then I was like,
It's a
oh,
20 total.
oh, that was real bad.
How much?
20.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell him we're all responsible for our own actions. And upon hearing of the actions of our other self, we find ourselves honor bound to intercede.
He
It's
sets
my
the harp
name
down.
that guy's dragging around.
Well, you're already sitting. He motions the other two to sit, please.
I will sit.
I will look around awkwardly until I find a chair, and then I will sit.
Not this one. This one's the bad one.
Are you hungry?
No disrespect.
I have fresh fruit.
No disrespect. We find it upon first meeting, it's probably a good idea, a prudent idea, not to share a meal with someone that we didn't prepare ourselves. Can you understand?
Oh, I do.
There's a lot of duplicity, especially when interacting.
Tell me
with
you didn't
players.
damage the bride.
We didn't. We didn't. We took some precautions.
That bride is to only be touched by Lord Strahd.
I didn't touch the bride.
Did you create her?
Of course. For our Lord Strahd.
Did he
No,
put in an
he
order?
hasn't. No, but it'll bring him peace. He'll stop chasing the spirit of Erlena if he has. I'm sorry, Irina. If he has
I was about
this
to get real
perfect
pissed.
vessel.
There's about to be you want to see a priest get stabbed hard?
Apologies, Irina. He's like, if he has this perfect bride, he would not have to worry about Irina any longer. His quest would be sated. His soul no longer tortured.
Where did you get the parts?
The mongrels folk get them from the local graves.
You're a holy man, correct?
I am no man. He shifts his form and the full wings come out and you realize you're standing in the presence of a deva.
You're a holy entity?
What do I know about devas?
Well, if you don't get all the items on their rider backstage, they get really bitchy in between.
They make terrible movies too.
They make terrible movies too. Yeah. That's a callback.
Angels that act in divine messengers as agents to the material plane, the Shadowfell, and the Feywild. They can assume forms appropriate for the realm they are sent to. They can take a mortal's form for years.
Are they good aligned creatures?
Normally.
Okay. Adrie looks perplexed.
What troubles you, child?
I what you've created upstairs doesn't seem like a good thing. You've
I'm trying to bring peace to this land through a marriage.
but you're desecrating bodies, right? None of the bodies that you took from said that it was okay for you to do this to them.
In
And
all
what
fairness, they're not using them anymore.
and what
I
you're
mean-
creating, is it going to have sentience? Is it going to have its own mind? Did
Of
it
course, I've been teaching it. I've been
Then-
teaching it art. I've been teaching it to speak.
then
Or teaching her.
does she agree to you giving her to Strahd? Aren't you just swapping out Irina's fate and giving that to someone else?
But it will end the curse on the land.
Does feel a little evil.
But you're
if
still
if they're not in agreement to it, then what's the difference?
you're still dooming
You're just
someone.
handing the sin off to someone else. Yeah. Damn, Zewok's like, where's that section on morality? Damn it.
No, the problem is he's insane and he doesn't see anything else.
Well, so
Adrie
Adrie was raised by a paladin who literally like heard
Oh,
the
yeah.
voice of angels. So this is like a very strange scenario for her.
Oh no, I get it. I get it. He's like, it's fine if mortals do not see the plan that's laid out.
Mortals is a slanderous term.
Are you not mortal?
I learned this from Ghostbusters.
The ancient text.
The ancient text of Ray Stance says yes. If they ask me if you're okay, I wouldn't say mortal. That's neither here nor there. We're looking for some people. Perhaps you can help us. And maybe we can help you.
All right. I'm listening.
We're looking for 3 individuals, younger, kid, 1 arm, girl with red hair. Another one kind of mushroomy, I guess. Now,
He kind of sighs. Do they come through it as well?
that's what we think. We're not certain.
Someone did travel through it. I was told to keep it quiet and keep it hidden by Strahd, our Lord Strahd. I've done a very good job of keeping the mirror hidden. Ever since the last transgressions with it, he had it moved here from the castle, especially after the Pretender resurfaced.
The Pretender?
He points at Adrie again.
Thought she was the betrayer.
She
Kaeviir
also
was the
has many
yeah.
names.
She's a pretendy betrayer.
Yeah.
She's a pretend-trayer.
The mirror was used recently. Someone had been through my abbey from that room. I didn't know who and I don't know how many. I could feel the necrotic energy surge through the area.
Do you know where they went?
I don't, but that would explain the not war, but it would explain how treacherous the roads have become. Someone has steeped up and stepped up against the Pretender. She swears she's killed Strahd, but I refuse to believe Strahd's dead.
I'm gonna
So-
look around at the other 2 and be like, shh.
But the stories that are coming are saying, he points at Kaeviir, that you've started the war.
Sounds like me. Well, not me, but
accompanied by Drow.
thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism. We really appreciate you coming in and listening. We also really appreciate all the people who support our Patreon. By supporting the Patreon, you're going to get behind the scene, uncut clips that you'll get to see sort of like maybe the tissue behind some of the edited, cleaned up content. And you'll get that whenever we have a big block of it to drop, as well as any updates or any information behind the scenes stuff that we think the Patreons would like to know. So if you'd like to support our Patreon and help us continue making the high quality, high octane podcast that you've come to expect, go ahead to patreon.com/freelance_heroism. Thank you. And as usual, the invoice is in the mail. I know you will.
What?
I know you will.
You know I will sneeze?
Yeah, I got facts about it.
Okay.
I don't know why you know as facts as me, but they do. You ready?
Ready.
How does my voice sound? Do I sound like me?
Yeah.
Do I sound sarcastic and mean?
Yes.
I can't help that. I try. I really do. I try to sound. Okay. Brief story before we get into this intro.
Okay.
When I used to play Magic, there's a thing in Magic playtest groups where like people are sort of elitist. They're sort of like snotty and shitty. And when other players who are just regular everyday players who don't do big tournaments or anything come in, they kind of treat them like trash. Like they're not mean directly, but they'll like say a lot of sideways shit and like make fun of their play and talk about their card choices and shit. And it's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if they're our opponent in a lot of these like Friday Night Magic, so let them fuck up. Well, I mean, literally just be friendly to them. Let them fuck up. I was always very friendly to people. I was never kind of a dick. So I have a weird thing where I sound like a total asshole. Right? And my mannerisms and my face deliver that message for me. And I don't mean for it to happen in all circumstances. Sometimes. For sure. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm generally a very friendly person. You can just come up and talk to me, and I'm generally pretty nice. Like, as long as, you know, it's in a place where I expect people to talk. Like, don't talk to me at the gas station. Just leave me the fuck alone. But like at a game store or something like that, please come up, talk, right?
Yeah.
I'm not rude, or I'm approachable. Right?
Right.
But everyone I hung out with was such a douche. And I just remember thinking, like, why are you guys like this? Like, especially some of you guys who were not as good as you seem to act like you were. I don't want to say anyone by name. But you know who you are, Daniel. Whatever.
Yeah.
My point is, some people are just douchey, right?
Right.
And I never understood that.
Yeah.
So when I do the intros and stuff like that, I know I sound that way, and it's hard to convey that I'm not, but I am friendly. I'm a friendly guy.
Yeah, you are.
Okay. I just want you to know that I live with this curse.
I have, I think, the opposite. I think that a lot of times
and everyone thinks they're nice.
No, I think that like I'm sort of always giving this very friendly energy.
Yeah.
So like people will come up and talk to me all the time. And I think part of it is just like when you work with the public, very often the public will randomly share something wildly inappropriate. It happens a lot.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I like how that works. That you're just you look so friendly, but you're really a douchebag inside. And I've been saying that for a long time, and nobody believes me. You know what I mean? It's like, you ever see the first episode of Scrubs where like where
Mhm.
like Dr. Kelso is
Oh.
like seems like this sweet old man, but he's really this monster inside,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
then Dr. Cox is this like shit talking mean guy who just looks like
Uh-huh.
an asshole, but actually has got like a heart of gold.
Mhm.
I feel like that's what we got here.
Oh.
You're
Okay.
Kelso.
Yeah.
I'm Cox.
Okay.
See what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You want to do the intro now?
I'm ready.
Should clip this bit out and leave it somewhere. All right.